Legacy of the Wizard! Hello everyone, I am MoeChicken and welcome to a new series. We are going to be playing Legacy of the Wizard, which is an amazing NES game that we're going to play. It stars these people, the Wartzen family, as they go upon a quest to defeat the dragon Keela. There are six members of the, seven. I guess Pochi's there. There are seven members of the family. Five we can play as. We have the father, Zemn, who is a woodcutter. We have the mother, Mena, who is a sorceress. We have the daughter, Lil, who is a little girl. And we have the son, Roas, who is the only one that can actually use the Dragon Slayer sword. We also have Pochi. He's a dog. We're going to use him. Go, Pochi! And then he turns into the thing from Bubble. And I can't do anything here yet. So this is Pochi's quest. Prepare for Pochi's quest. Yeah, so the way this game works is it's sort of like a cross between a platforming game and a puzzle game. And all of the members of the Wartzen family have different special abilities. So you may have already noticed Pochi's special ability is that he doesn't take damage from monsters because they think he is a monster. And so Pochi is kind of like a safe way to introduce yourself to the game. And the overall goal we're aiming for is to find 4 crowns. So the Wartzen family, for whatever reason, decided to build their house on top of a giant underground labyrinth that's filled with monsters and terror. Just because I guess the real estate was good, I'm not really sure. But that's where they live. And one day they decide, you know what? I think there's a dragon down there, and we slay monsters. Let's go kill the dragon. And it's just like a family bonding thing, except that only one can go at any one time, so it's not really family bonding. Anyway, so your goal is to go down into this underground labyrinth and find the 4 crowns. And once you find the 4 crowns, you can then acquire the legendary blade Dragon Slayer, which is the only thing that can do damage to the Dargon. Keela, we'll see him later. So the way you do that is you just adventure around, and the big thing that makes each character different is, well, their abilities are different. Like Pochi's the only one that doesn't take damage from monsters, but also I think he has the lowest jump, maybe, and the shortest shot power. But again, can't take damage, so you really don't ever have to fight anything if you don't want to. But for example, Zem, who is the dad, has highest attack power, also has a very low jump. Lil, who is the daughter, has an unreasonably high jump ability. She can actually jump so high that she can hurt herself upon landing, which is a bit unfortunate. And so you have to use their abilities, and then also each character can equip different sub-items. So here, I'll show you. So you see we've got this big old inventory, and it gives me my stats down there. One thing that's a little odd about this game is that the strength stat is not terribly comparable to the other stats. For whatever reason, everyone's strength is low. Like 2 characters actually have a strength of 1. So that should give you an idea. And I think Zem, who is the strongest, has a strength of 4. So low numbers in terms of strength, and then high numbers in terms of other things. It's very mysterious. But anyway, yeah, so we've got that whole inventory, and different people can use different things. So one of the other major downsides to Pochi here is that he cannot use any of the, I guess, unique items, like the legendary items. Like, for example, so you see how some of these have like a white 0 underneath them? Those are the ones that Pochi can use. So from left to right, that's the magic rod, which increases the distance you shoot. The shield, which will block any projectiles. The I think that's the basic heal, which gives you some health back. The elixir, which will revive you upon death, and the crystal ball, which will bring you home. It's like an escape rope. He can use those and no others. Each of the other characters can use the unique items, and that's kind of what plays into how they're useful. Because, I mean, if Pochi could use everything, you just use him because he's invincible. And he's Pochi. Look how cute he is. He can do this. Look at him chewing gum. He's just chewing gum all day long. That's his job. He chews gum and he dances. Chewing gum, dancing. Chewing gum, dancing. That's Pochi. So yeah, the way the game kind of flows is you have each one of the 4 members of the family, aside from Roas, who is the son, are responsible for finding crowns. Now, some of the crowns actually you can get with different people, but most of the time when I hear people talk about this game, either in walkthroughs or in my friend who wanted me to play this for quite a while now, and I'll talk about him later, they always say that the 4 crowns are for 4 different people. So there's a Pochi area, there's a Lil area, there's a Zemn area, and there's a Mena area. And then Roas is responsible for finding the Dragon Slayer and killing the dragon in the end. And that's kind of how the game goes down. Now, in addition to that, you can also spend time playing as different characters to find items, because there's sort of 2 ways you can acquire the legendary items in this game. You can either buy them, and they're almost always extremely expensive, or you can find them. With the exception of one item, you can actually... This is, by the way, this is a trap. This rock is a trap. It's a monster. Did you realize that? Pochi did. That's why he's chewing gum. He's a cool guy. He's here to kick butt and chew gum. He's chewing the gum right now, so he's still got some. So he doesn't have to kick butt all the time, but he'll do it some of the time. He'll do it some of the time if he wants to. He's like, come down! Come down! Yes! Death to you! What was I saying? Each one of the characters has a different ability. Oh yeah, so it's worthwhile to actually try to use different characters and go down and try to find as many of the items as you can without having to buy them, because otherwise you're going to be grinding for money a lot. Now, I have played all the way through this game. I actually played all the way through it for my first time not too long ago. That friend I mentioned earlier has been the primary advocate for my playing this game on my channel for quite a while. And so I hope you're happy. Finally got around to it. Took me a long time. And a large part of what kept me away from it was I had seen him play it before, and it just kind of looked intimidating. It's one of those games that, if you don't know much about it going into it, it feels so confusing. You got this huge list of whatever, and you're like, what are all these things? Why are there multiple characters? What's the point of all this? What am I doing? It's there's a lot that's not explained from that first screen, and you might get, well, like I was, intimidated. But once you actually play the game, it's pretty reasonable. It's not that hard to figure out. Also, one other thing about this game is that it's absolutely chock-a-block full of hidden areas, like walls you can walk through and stuff. And that's a large part of how you find your way around. There are 2 areas of the dungeon where you are required to just either walk through a ceiling or walk through a floor, and the game doesn't really give you too much indication of it. Kind of hate that, personally. I feel like that's kind of a crappy thing to do, but, games will be games. Anyway, yeah, so I've played all the way through this once before. But when I first played, I didn't know that you could find... Oh yeah, so anytime you stay at an inn, you can then equip things. So now you can see I've got the crystal ball in the upper corner. That means that if I want to, I can pause... Nope, not that one. I can push select, and then go over to this, and if I push select again, I will use it. However, I don't want to use that right now because it will bring me back home, and I'm not ready to go home quite yet. So yeah, I've played through it, and I spent a lot of money on the items because I didn't know you could get them for free. It's definitely worth it to try and get them for free. But I just think it's a cool thing that the game allows you to have this little Pochi adventure at the beginning and just kind of learn how to play in a low-stakes way. You're allowed to platform, you're allowed to learn about, the fact that you'll need keys, for example, that there are a lot of, walls you can walk through and stuff like that, but you don't really have to worry about being in danger. The only thing that can actually hurt Pochi is either that up there, which is poison, or falls. He can take damage from falling. He can take damage from spikes, although I don't know that he has many spikes on his route. And the boss will also damage him. But other than that, he's pretty safe, and so you're allowed to kind of just explore. It's a really clever way to put the game together. Let's see, how long are they going? I'll go a little bit longer. Make this first episode maybe 15. I'm gonna aim for like 10-minute episodes unless it seems like we're, you know, not getting anywhere in the series. But I think I should be able to manage it that way. What was I talking about? Whatever. I'm excited to be playing this. And I hope that I do a good job, because I want people to try this game out. You know, I mentioned earlier that I was kind of hesitant to play it for a long time myself because it looked really confusing. It's not confusing it's not difficult to play once you're into it. There's still some things that are confusing. There were a couple of times my first time through where I had to actually use a walkthrough because I just got completely stuck. I think both situations where I had to do that, it was because there was a hidden wall that I didn't know how to walk through. So it's stuff like that. But I know keys. Really? Give me a key. Thank you. It's like, well, thank you for that. That's exactly what I asked for. But you can see I'm just walking into these walls and it's making holes. That's what I mean. Lots of hidden doors. Or lots of hidden areas. Like I'm just walking through this mountain. It's all full of holes. But yeah, it's not a game that you can't play without prior experience. It's just a game you have to commit to it, you know? You have to be like, I'm going to play Legacy of the Wizard, and it's going to take me a little while, but I'm going to enjoy it. And I think you'll enjoy it. So, I want to do right by this game so that people will give it a shot. Because it took me a long time to give it a shot, and I missed out on a lot of opportunities to play this game much sooner because I was being stubborn. Don't be stubborn like me. Don't be stubborn like me. Try Legacy of the Wizard. Kill. So I gotta try to remember where I need to go first. Like, Pochi's journey involves finding things for the next people you play as. So I know that Pochi can find the punch glove, which will increase the damage that other characters do. I know he can find the regular glove, the glove, I guess, which allows Zem to do what is probably one of the more creative and interesting game mechanics in the game, which, oh, there it is, that's the punch glove. So if characters equip that, I think it doubles your attack power, maybe? And yeah, so I can also find the glove, and the glove will allow Zem to do Zem's gimmick, which is a pretty cool gimmick. We'll see that later. And so yeah, Pochi's goal, find the stuff for other people, find his crown, beat his boss, and then go home. And that is the goal of the family dog here, which turns into a monster. Seriously, he's like adorable as a dog, and then he's adorable as a this. And he chews bubblegum. Look at him go. I gotta remember where to go. I'm trying to remember where to go to get the glove. I actually feel like I may have already missed the glove. Maybe I was supposed to go somewhere else earlier. Maybe not. We'll see. Now, one thing that's nice is I actually do have full money right now, which is very helpful. If I manage to hang on to that and don't need anything along the way, I've got an idea of what I can do with it. So, I mentioned that just about everything can be found, like all the rare items can be found. There's only one that can't, as far as I know, and that is the shield. There's a shield item, which I mentioned earlier, will, like, block any and all incoming shots. The shield is, well, for me, indispensable for certain things. Namely, there is a boss later on that I drank poison. Dang it. It just hurts you a little bit. It's not that bad, but it's annoying. It's annoying when you accidentally drink it. What was I saying? Yeah, there's a boss later on that, like, the dangerous thing about this boss later on is that it shoots a lot of shots. And so, if you can block its shots, it's not too bad to fight. Now, that treasure chest up there is full money, I think. I got one of those earlier where there was just like I opened a treasure chest and there was like a pink bag of money. That is like maximum money. And so, I can come back for that. but first I have to find the glove. First I have to find the glove. Look at him chew. Look at him chewing that gum. I also need to get a lot of keys. So I know it's the first episode, so I'm just spinning around and around and around as I try and get everything out. I'm sorry. The two primary resources that you will gather in this game, outside of just keeping your life and your magic up, are, speaking of which, my magic is almost empty. That's a problem. I need to find an inn somewhere. The two primary resources are gold and keys. Keys allow you to open both locked doors and treasure chests, and gold will allow you to buy things, stay at inns. There is an item later on that makes keys less relevant, but gold is pretty useful throughout the whole game because you're going to need to be able to stay at inns. Because there are actually a fair number of times where you will want to change your item, and the only way you can do that is by either going all the way back home or staying at an inn. Basically, whenever you sleep, you can change your items. So, it's worth it to always have some money on hand. I think right up here is both a shop and an inn. And I also think, unfortunately, this treasure chest is full money, which means I'm going to waste it. Yep. Don't do it! But now, well, there you go. There you go. Alright, so that's the magic armor. I can't do anything with that. And I already have one of those, so I guess I'm going to hold off on that for now. Save. Or go and heal. You see how low I was on magic? I guess I haven't really explained that the GUI up there. So, the red ones are 10s, the blue ones are 1s for all 4 of the sections. I guess we're good. Okay. And I guess that's good enough for a first episode. So, we will be continuing. I would like to beat this game. Don't know how long it's going to take. Hopefully it won't take too terribly long. But I think it's a fun game, and I hope you guys will enjoy watching me play it. Pochi is just trying to wind his way through here. He'll get out before the beginning of the next episode. So I hope you'll come back and join me for that. I am the MoeChicken. This is Legacy of the Wizard. Chew and gum. Chew and gum.